We are rolling. Mr. Eddie Flores here, and I'm live. Well, technically not live. I love just saying the word live. But here with my boy, Evan. Evan, could you let people know what it is that you do? Because we just talked a little bit before, but holy shit, man, that was crazy. Let them know what you do.
So I'm a customer service engineer for a company called Siemens. They're a health and years division. So I work in hospitals fixing CT equipment, PET equipment, SPECT equipment, all in the nuclear medicine field.
Nuclear
So
medicine. That sounds just badass, dude. And real quick, how is that industry doing right now during COVID? How are they holding up? How are you guys?
the healthcare industry is never going down, man.
It's boom.
It's
Is it
about
going
to
up
boom.
right now? Is it going up right now?
I wouldn't say going up, but it's if you're in the health industry, you're pretty secure, I would say.
Okay. And why do you think that is? Just from your personal opinion? Because I like getting
Uh,
people's opinion.
I guess it's similar to all your basic trades, the things that everyone's always going to need. You're always going to need electricity. You're always going to need gas. You're always going to need, some kind of power. You're always going to need health care. There's food. You're always going to need food. There's certain industries that they're never going to go away.
And that's true because one of the questions that we asked, and that's kind of the purpose of this whole talk, is if you're a small business, how are you going to survive during this COVID time? And I think you're really hitting the nail on the head right now with what you're saying. Big fireball, by the way, is just the basics, the essentials. What you just said in there, food, medicine, just the basic stuff everyone needs. Like I see food industry is not hurting. Like as long Chick-fil-A is packed as fuck. It's crazy, dude. I just went to Chick-fil-A the other day and the line is longer than it was before COVID, which is kind of crazy. So what else would you say is essential? I like what you said. It's just power, like gas, electric, health, food. Like I do not see like hair care or what is the word? Like salons. I feel like they're getting shit on a lot, dude. But that's not a basic. Like you don't really need that. So what are some other basics do you think that would be good for a small business owner to maybe shift or pivot to if they were to do so? Like the basics. What else do
So
you see?
I really think like the salons, the women's beauty health things. I mean, if you look at the economy, it was like 80% of the buying decisions are done by women.
This is true.
Um,
This is true.
yeah. So those kind of industries, they're not going to be gone for long, or people are working out of their homes. Women still have to get pampered. It's nothing that's going to go away. But as far as the necessities, the actual needs, yeah, the different power industries, the food, even transportation. A few that come to mind that are doing extremely well right now would be your delivery services,
Oh
like your
yeah.
DoorDash, your Lyft, your Ubers. Those are doing even better than ever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's cool, man. And now let's talk about just small business owners, like small mom and pop. Someone like a me, someone like a hair salon person in San Diego that's feeling the effects of this. You had a really great answer, and I'll let you speak on to that. But the question was, how could a small business survive with these crazy times during COVID that's going down in the world today? And I'll just let you chime in on kind of what you said, and we'll expand on that, man, because you really did have a good answer. You had a couple of them actually. That was good.
So what it really comes down to is you got to hustle. I mean, there's always something to do. If it's something that you don't know, you can learn it. I mean, that's how I taught myself. As far as carpentry, electrical, I was trained through the Navy, but plumbing, doing brazing, welding. Um, there's all kinds of mechanical, working on cars. There's all these things that anyone can do, and it just takes a little bit of time and effort. I mean, you have YouTube, you have Google, you have so many things that you can figure out anything in the world. So,
Isn't that
like,
crazy? Isn't that crazy that we live in a world like that today? Where it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I can just literally check. Like, I love how everyone's a doctor today. Like they get a little red bump and they're like red bump on forearm, and they're like, oh, I have Ghana massive. I'm like, dude, it's cool, but that just shows you the potential that we have because everyone checks their symptoms, but no one wants to do the work. Like what you're talking about. To learn a trade, there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of pain involved because you suck when you first weld. You suck when you first learn how to cut someone's hair. You suck when you learn how to train dogs the first time. Whatever it is that you do, you suck at the beginning. And that's what people don't want to deal with right now, I feel, especially because they're down and out. But you hit the nail on the head that you could learn anything in this fucking world today if you wanted to. You can. And it's almost always free. Google and YouTube is free for right now. as a 2020 recording. So who knows? They might say we're charging for this shit, but it is that, man. So I agree with you on the sense of you can learn whatever the heck you want. So if you're selling books, it might be time to learn some other shit. It might be time. It might be time. So what else did you say? There was a couple other good answers that we could speak on that. That was a good one though. That was a really good one.
So another thing that I brought to light was that everyone wants to work that dream job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing that you would love to do more than anything in your life. Like for you, I would say it's photography. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that that's one of your passions, right?
Yeah,
So before you were able to make money on photography, that didn't stop you. You still did it,
exactly.
right? But you had a means to support that dream, and you've been able to turn that dream into a reality, which is a rare thing. That's really cool on your part, right?
Yeah. And I think that's so true because most people they have a job and they want to quit their job and be like, I'm going for my passion. I think that's the most horrible advice that anyone could give you. Like, just chase your dreams, chase your passions. I say do it smart. Like what you said, have a means to something, like have a safety net and test it out. Because you might come to find out that you don't like that shit. You might say, I love photography, and you shoot one wedding, and you're like, fuck this. And you just spent $5,000 and you quit your job. What now? So the way I like it, I get right now we're kind of in panic mode because of COVID. But I would still say if you have a safety net, hold on to that near and dear clutch, like where you're like, you know what, let me have this. But maybe now, since I'm working at home, maybe I could get away with an hour instead of checking emails. I'm gonna look a little bit into like crafting or opening up an Etsy shop or shit. I wanted to do fucking knitting or pottery. That's one thing. And one of the cool things is I'll drop this fireball for whoever's watching this is there's something called Google Keyword Planner where you can see if there's even money in that field. So the dope thing is, say if it's knitting and you do a search in Google Keyword Planner, say only 50 people search that shit in a month, don't do it. Because I get it's your passion, but no one's going to pay you. No one's looking for that. But say on the other hand, on the flip side, say I do crochets for dog sweaters or Chihuahua sweaters. I do that search. And for some reason, Chihuahua sweater has 100,000 views and only like 2 people competing for that shit. You should go all in. Well, not all in, but you get what I'm saying. Like, go start diving in harder, faster, and keep that job while you're juggling both. And eventually, once this bitch makes a lot of money, then cut the fat. But don't just go, oh, I'm doing this because I feel like we live in a fake ass world. And I'm just going to drop this on you and you can elaborate on this if you choose to. But I feel like everything out here on social in life right now is just fake. Everyone posts the wins. No one posts the L. No one talks about this kind of shit, like the hard conversations, the real shit. Everyone just says, aha, I'm in Cabo drinking a margarita. Oh, look at my kids. They're perfect. But what about when they're fucking crying? What about when they're pissing you off? No one documents that. Like, we live in a fake ass world. And to me, that's why I feel people are impatient because they see all these wins where they don't see losses at all. At all. So that's the crazy thing. So I just wish people were more like us. Like for me, I had to move back in with my parents because fuck, man, like I don't want to spend that money in San Diego, say 560,000 for a house where I know I could probably get 2 bitches in Texas. So I had to suck it up and have a rough conversation with my wife and say, yo, would you feel comfortable doing this temporarily? Keyword temporarily, sacrifice so we can do that. No one wants to have those conversations. And it's weird because then people go, oh, but people are going to think I'm a loser. No, 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 no. It doesn't matter what no one thinks about you. It's what's best for your family. And everyone's fucking that up, man. So what's your 2 cents on that whole social media and the lack of honesty and all that good shit, man?
So yeah, you're always gonna have fake people, and my favorite are the fake people that always on every post they put that 100. It's
100, 100, 100.
it's like okay,
I
everything
love
can be 100,
I love
but
I
but
love
your family side of it, you hit that on the head. You know, a lot of people that you're gonna run into don't have that. They don't have the wife, the kids,
Yeah.
and when it comes to that level, there's other priorities. You have to make sure that they're taken care of first. Doesn't matter if you're working 2, 3, 4 jobs.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that hustle.
Oh,
That's like I'll give you an example. For my job right now, I'm in training right now, which is nice.
yeah.
I don't have to work my other jobs right now because I'm away from home. But my mom is actually a GM for a small boat repair company for the Navy.
Okay.
So in my mornings when I am in San Diego, I'll go out and I'll work from like 4:30 in the morning to 11 in the morning
Okay.
as a as an electrician, just doing hookups and easy, labor stuff on the small boats.
Yeah.
My shift for Siemens starts at noon, so I work from noon until 9 p.m. Um, and then also in between, if I have because I work salary for Siemens, so if there's a time that I have off time or I don't have stuff scheduled,
Yeah.
myself as a handyman. There's a great phone app that I always suggest to everyone called Thumbtack. Thumbtack. There's Angie's List. There's a few of them. OfferUp. Even you can put your services on there.
Have you heard
I
of
think
Nextdoor? Have you heard of that
next
one?
next
Yeah,
door is
Nextdoor
another.
is another good one, man. You just
So,
dropped some fireballs right there. Those were good. Those were really good.
exactly. So those are all good things to get into. I mean, you can if you have a pickup. It doesn't even have to be a big pickup. You can do waste disposal. You
Oh,
can go,
dude, you hit the
you know,
nail on the head, bro. If you got a truck, you can put shit in the back. No one has a truck these days.
exactly. Use what you have. That's the
Yes.
biggest thing. You know, like I was saying about the trades. So when I started on Thumbtack,
Yeah.
I didn't I wasn't, any kind of licensed anything. I had experience with electrical and I put that in my summary, what I am, where I've been.
Okay.
And people really like the veteran status, right? So
Cool.
if you are a veteran, always put that.
That's true.
Whether it's a resume, whether it's you're offering services, because it instills a little bit of trust.
It does.
You're saying, okay, well, this guy served his country. I'm going to trust him over some random guy I don't know, right?
That, and let's talk about some real shit. There's indebtment too, because you'll always hear it. Thank you for your service, because we don't have the courage to do that. Like, so since someone's doing that for us, there's automatically that sense of like, thank you, thank you. How can I help you? Because you helped me. And I feel like you hit the nail on the head. If you can use it, it's not necessarily you're using it as an advantage. You're using it as a truth. That's who you are. So I like that, man. I like that you said you put that
So
on. That's cool.
the other cool thing too about that veteran thing is in the city of San Diego, we're a ginormous military town.
Huge.
So
Yes. Huge.
so who do you think someone active duty is going to hire?
Oh, they got each other's back, man.
Exactly. Exactly, because they're like, okay, he was an electronics tech in the Navy. He knows some stuff. We're
Yeah.
we're usually regarded as a smarter person. Because we actually have formal training on electronics and all that kind of stuff. So even though I'm not a licensed electrician, I'm gonna get your stuff working, and I'm not gonna mess you over. I'm gonna if there's something I can't do, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
That's another big. That'll be another big thing is honesty, honesty and
Honestly.
trust. Those are the two biggest things. You could be the one of the, I guess, uh yeah, this would be one of your edit out parts.
No, we'll
so,
keep it in for the rawness. I like
so,
that. People think that's honesty right there.
yeah,
It's like
right.
that's the honesty.
So okay, so here's my thought. So you could be someone that you might not be the best at it, right?
True.
Say someone just needs some fence panels put up,
Yeah.
and you're looking there on this thumbtack and you're like, hey, I could probably do that. I'm gonna go on YouTube, get some pointers, get some hints, like as far as spacing between the planks and how to make everything level, and I'm gonna go and do this.
Yeah.
And you go and do that, and you have a little bit of an issue, but hey, you suck it up, you get the job done right, you make it look clean. At the end of the day, that person that hired you, they're going to be appreciative that you took that extra time, that you were honest with them. Hey, I had a problem with this. Let me fix it, and you're just going to have repeat
And
clients
there's
because
two
of word
ways
of
to
mouth.
that. There's two ways to that. You actually hit the nail on the head on a golden nugget. Actually, this is actually going to be a huge golden nugget for someone. There's two ways to do that. You can be upfront and honest at the front end, or during the process, like what you said. So while you're doing the process, like you can be like, hey, let me fix it. Like what you said, let me fix it. Let me make it better. You just take care of it. Like, say there's an issue. Let's say when I did website design the first time, I did the wrong way. I like your way where you basically do it during. It's kind of cool. I was honest up front, and that almost made me lose some of those bids where they would be like, you've never done it. Like, it's hard to see past that, where they're like, I don't know, this is your first time. I don't want to take the chance on you. So it's harder to sell. But when you're in neck deep, kind of doing the website, if you're being honest with them, like, you get a chance to do that relationship. You now have a chance to fix it. Whereas at the beginning, they might not even give you a shot. So you can do it either two ways. I know some people need to be upfront and honest at the beginning, and it's wise for some things where they're like, hey, this is the first time I've done SEO in my life. Are you down to work with me? I will give you a fat discount. I'll give you 80% off. I'll do it for $200 as opposed to $1,000. Are you interested? That's one way of doing it. Or the way we just talked about, which I prefer, so you get your hands dirty. Because that's, to me, I feel like you just need to get in the trenches, man. That's how you learn. Like, if you don't get
Exactly.
enough clients, you're going to lose momentum and not do it. So the other way, it's not deceptive because you're fixing it along the way. And obviously, if you suck ass, you can make it right. You could give them their money back or just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to keep fixing this until it's right. So as long as you're honest, like what you said, you are good. I just hate people that are snakes and then take money to the bank and leave people. Those are the people that are going to feel the pain later. Karma's a bitch.
Right. Yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, that's another good point. Never, don't ever take money until you finish the job completely.
Exactly. I'm a
Um,
huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan.
now, if you do get into it where you're doing big things, like maybe you're doing like a bathroom remodel,
Yeah.
right? That's going to be after you've messed around a little bit and now you have some skills under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
But say you're doing a bathroom remodel, that's something that might be a little bit different. That's another key thing is if you're going to be there for a week, 2 weeks, there's nothing wrong for asking for 20-30% up front.
Yeah.
That is completely okay because this in the eye of the buyer is they're paying your salary as it would be,
Yeah.
because you're not working hourly. Usually as a contractor, you give a bid for the full job.
Yep. And that's the cool thing. I like those payment options. There's 20/80, 40/60, and 50/50. I love those. So for me, the biggest motivation is 20/80. And a good sweet spot for most is 40/60 because you still get a good chunk of the money at the beginning, but you still get a decent payday at the end. 50/50 is just nice. It's like even math. But 20/80, if you can, like if you know 20% will cover your cost, getting that 80% when it's done feels fucking amazing. Like you're like, damn, it's just this weird psychology thing where I think people overlook it easy. They're like, oh, let's just do a 50/50 plan. But now you're not as motivated as you would with the 80 where you're like, I need that money. I need to do a good job because I want to get paid. When some people get paid up front, the whole thing too, I notice what happens with those people. They kind of get a little sloppy. They kind of do a shortcuts and they're not as motivated to work there. So that's another fireball that you just dropped on people where it's like doing that whole 20/80, 40/60 thing. It's a good model for customer service and honesty where it keeps you like sharp and tight and not lazy. So that was cool, man. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, and it's on both sides. So the person that's hiring you, they're going to really appreciate that you do that 28,
Oh, for
right?
sure. They love you for
Because because they don't know you really. I mean, they might have heard about you from a friend, maybe word of mouth,
that. Yeah.
or they found you on this website. So they're not going to feel comfortable like all the half up front and say, hey, no, that's fine, 20% up front. I'm going to do the work, and if you're satisfied, you like the job it's done, at the end of the job, that'll be that 80%.
Shit, man. I think we just stumbled on a cool subtopic in here where to survive in this whole COVID pandemic thing, what if you got another side craft and tried the 20/80 model and just worked it while you were doing it? Like what we just talked about. Like that's another source of income right now. So say if you're salon and you cut hair, what if you're also good at, let's just say, making sweatshirts or finding stuff at thrift stores? Maybe now's the time to do that stuff where you test it and start getting your feet wet and dirty. Or try another service. Like how about if you've always had a passion for woodworking and shit, maybe bird's nest, like that's a thing. Maybe you could start putting ads like, hey, I do woodwork, I'll do 20/80. Like put yourself out there with the 20/80 so you start getting that confidence and building another skill set and another revenue stream. So that would be kind of cool too for people to survive, is maybe try testing something else with cool guarantees like that. Like, hey, I won't take all your money up front. This is new to me. I will give you a 20/80 plan. Let's do this. I promise that I work super hard and you're going to love it. Like that's another form of how to survive, is the hustle. I really do believe those who hustle, those who adapt will win. That's the secret to this whole COVID thing, in my opinion, is adapt or die. If you don't, you're just gonna get shit on. And you could make like hairstylists and places that are seen as non-essential. Everyone is like tapping out, but you could be the one that steps up and does something different, where you adapt and you say, okay, well, shit, they said that I can cut hair outside. I'm going to do something cool where I have a live event while we're cutting hair outside. And it's going to be fun because nobody's doing shit in COVID and everyone's bored. I'm going to be the one that makes it rain. Whoever does it first. Whoever
I
does it
mean,
different.
mix it up. Have if
Oh.
especially if you have a lot of girlfriends and see you're a hairdresser, say, hey, come on over to my house. My husband will make you drinks. You just
Yeah, mix it
enjoy
up.
getting your hair done.
Hell yeah.
Something simple. Put on good music. All that kind of stuff that people are missing right now. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's a big key thing. And going back to that 2080 idea, so the 2080 it also shows confidence,
Oh, dude.
right? So
Yeah, it does.
right, versus the worst thing that you can do, which it would be arrogance, right?
Yeah.
So you never want to come across to a client as arrogant, like, oh, I'm the best and this and that. No, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm going to take care of you, sir, ma'am. Don't you worry. I've done this however many times, or if you're not satisfied with the product at the end, I'll give you a discount. Certain little things like that that's gonna get people's ears.
Yeah, and that's part of the honesty thing. What you're saying, like when you're being honest with people, when you're building that relationship, that confidence and not cockiness, it just shows you're a good human being. And I think that's another lesson today with this whole COVID thing that we could tie what you just said right now too is just be a good fucking human being. Like everyone says and preaches like the whole Bible. What do they say? Take care of thy neighbor. Like be nice to that neighbor. Dude, for reals, do it though. Like get somebody a package, like one of your customers, one of your favorite customers. How cool would it be to get like a DoorDash from you, from your company to them? Like just say, hey, I'm just thinking of you. I hope your family's well. Here's the night out on me. Like nobody's doing that. And I get it because they're hurting for money, but that's another way to make money, like by showing abundance, by giving. So they say that in the Bible, when you give, you get. I really believe that, man. Like when you do give, you do get. But most people are too clingy. They want to just hold on and not let go. And it's scary to let go, man, especially during these times. I feel like that's the big challenge. That's why, like, when I do these calls and I do coaching for free, like, dude, I should be charging right off the bat for coaching when I do it. I give it for free the first time. And like what you said, it's not the cockiness, it's just to get your trust. It's to see if you even like it. It's to see. I do that, and that's helped me out a lot where people just end up buying because they're like, oh shit, I do like it. But most people don't want to do that. They're like, ooh, you
Well,
have
and
to pay
the
me.
marketing too. I mean, that's great marketing because, hey, I went over to Eddie. He didn't even charge me for my first help.
Yeah.
So you should try him out. You
Yeah,
know,
it gets people talking, man. It gets people talking. Giving gets people talking, but no one's doing it, man. So, yeah, dude. What else did you want to chime on, dude? Because I know we got some things that we got to do here. It's on the top of the 30-minute mark. What else did you want to chime in on? Because you had some good answers, and I think you've already packed a good amount of value in this. And I like where this conversation is going, man. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Keep it honest. Keep it real. Like that is good, solid ass advice, man. So thank you for that, by the way. So, what else did you want to chime on before we wrap up the show here?
so and you do it, and I appreciate it. But um, on the other side of work, you have that family, right?
Oh yeah,
Always make time for your family. As much as you hustle, make sure that you have that face-to-face time. Don't ever neglect your kids. Don't ever work so much that you're never home.
yeah,
That's why are we working if we're not able to take care of the hearts of the ones we love, right?
that's true.
So
Like,
I
let's
think
chime in on this. Let's tap in on this. Why is family important to you? Let's give you an opportunity to shine right now. Let's see what's up with Evan. What's on his mind? Like, why did that come out of your mouth? The family thing. I love that, man. Like, let's talk about some of the morals. What happened in the past with you? Like, why is family so important to you today, as the man that you are right now? Why is that
I mean,
important?
growing up, I was the oldest of 8 kids growing up, so it was kind of instilled, as a kid, like, hey, I'm going to be a husband and a father. Like that was from the get go.
Okay.
And a little bit to my detriment because I rushed into my first 2 marriages.
Okay.
It happens. But my wife now I found, and she was that perfect partner. And
Awesome.
we had 2 more boys together. We each came into it with a daughter,
Nice.
and they both were like soul sisters. Like they were meant to be together. So
That's awesome.
at the end of the day, for me, and that's why the job that I work right now. I mean, I'm away for training at the moment, but
Yeah.
my job right now, I am home more. I
Good.
can spend more time with my family. I can be there to teach them those life lessons, and I can be there to see those wonderful life events.
That's awesome.
So
That's
Yeah, in
awesome.
the past I did a lot of like field service where I was, out of state.
Yeah.
And that is one of the worst feelings in the world.
Cool, man. And let's wrap it up with this. Let's drop some advice on the kiddos right now, man. Let's give a one gold nugget to the kids. Cause how old are your kids right now? How old are yours?
My daughters are both 12, and then my boys are 3 and 4.
Okay, so oldest is 12, and then we got some 3 and 4. So entering the teens. Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting, man. So how about this? Let's you kind of know where your mind's at. You were a teenager too. How about advice to a teenager in today's world with all this crazy shit? What's the best piece of advice that you can give a teenager, boy or girl? You take your choice, and just kind of give them a solid piece of advice. And that's how we could wrap this up because I'm a family person too. I jive with you on that. Like I love you about your family, and I feel like yeah, at the end of the day, you are a master to them. Like you're working for them. That's why you're motivated. That's why you're doing it. Like yeah, I was successful before them, before I had the kids, but they just make it that much better to be successful. Like I want to give them options to do whatever they want and whatnot. So it's gonna be great, man. So I see you on that same frequency, and that's why I'm like, that's tight, dude. So you want to go ahead and start off, or do you want me to start off? Your call, man. I'll let you take the reins on
I'll,
this.
I'll go for a little bit of advice.
Okay, cool.
So I did the Navy path, and it didn't end up being, for me, I did 8 years, but
Okay.
I had to cut my ties. But the training and the individuality that you get out of that, I think, is invaluable. So I would definitely say, hey, if you don't have another choice, definitely go military.
Okay.
Um, Look at all the branches, ask people around you, especially people that have served, what they think about it, and then make your decision. Another thing is after the military, I got my bachelor's degree
Okay.
in business. So I did business and project management.
Got
So got my bachelor's degree, but I'm in a technical field. So for me, unless I move to a management position in a technical field, which isn't really my cup of tea,
it.
um, my degree isn't really going to work so well. So um, kind of on that note, I don't want to sound like a bad parent, but
No, dude,
I'm,
say like I'm gonna
my,
say some bad advice.
so
That's gangster.
yeah. So so me personally, I am never going to force my kids to go to college.
Good
I,
on you,
you
bro.
know,
I agree with you.
so
Why? Why? Curious.
so like for example, like what one of my great friends, Mike Becker.
Yeah.
So Mike Becker, he got out and he joined a trade, man. He became an electrician and he is doing extremely well. So the trades are extreme. They're undermanned right now. I mean, because everyone is into this mentality that, oh, you need a degree, you have to go to school,
Yeah.
and and a degree up front, unless someone else is paying for it, is debt. So you're starting off on the wrong foot already.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think you should always weigh your choices. I mean, if you go and you get a degree in like an engineering field or something actually useful, where
Okay.
you're gonna be making good money when you get off of it,
Yeah.
then then yeah. But if you're just going because you're gonna be a poli sci major, no.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so tell you what, I'll be a bad parent with you because when you said I don't know if I want to say this, I'll back you up, man. I got your back. So I feel the same thing, man. Like that would be my advice to my teenager is pay very close attention to what you're liking right now. Like while you're doing stuff, while you're seeing stuff on YouTube, while you're hanging out with friends, see what you like and take note of it. Why are you getting jealous of her? Well, it's because she gets to travel the world and she's doing vlogs. Okay, now let's break that down. What about that do you like? Do you like the whole famedom or do you just like the travel part? Start getting in tune. So I want to teach them to just look for patterns and look for shit. Not necessarily say, make a career choice. Like, do you want to be a fucking doctor, a fucking lawyer? Nah, that doesn't exist in this world. So with me, I say, just pay attention to what you like and I'll help you get there. If it's something medical or like psychological or something where you do kind of need to go to school, that's the only time I'll say you're going to go to school. That's it. So if you're going to be cutting fools up left and right, you better know what the hell name this vein is because I don't want you free. That shit ain't on YouTube. That shit ain't on YouTube. But if you're going to go off a different path, like say you want to be a person that cooks, You learn by cooking. If you want to be a business person, you learn by running a business. If you want to be someone that just travels, there's no school that's going to teach you to do that. It's by doing it. So for me, if my kids say, I don't want to go to school, that's when I'm going to have the conversation and say, okay, what did you find? What are you gravitating toward? Let's talk about it. Because they're still not going to know at that age. Me and you know, when you're at that age, did you kind of know? I didn't. I was still a fucking idiot. I was like, oh yeah, like I want to do it. You don't know. You're still a baby brain until you're like 25, 26. It's starting to mature. It's starting to combine all those experiences and life lessons barely. So what I want to do is not push college neither. I want to say, I'd rather you go do shit, go learn, go have fun and explore, so you actually have a life worth living, instead of like, I went to school. Like for me, I went to school for state for business marketing. That shit got outdated in 3 weeks. They were talking about social media. They did not see TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram stories, and live, all that shit. They did not talk about it. They talked about product, price, place, promotion, supply chain management. I was like, that shit doesn't exist today, bro. Like, it's crazy. I get it when you're in the more corporate level, but most of us are small little guys. So I will back you up on that sense, where I say that's my lesson to my teenager, is just pay attention to what you get jealous of. Pay attention to what you like. Because most people, they get jealous of things that they want. Like, that's a cool tip that someone told me, and I hope that's a fireball for you, because you can actually flip that bitch as a 180 and be like, why do I get jealous of that car? Do I want money? Is that the thing? Or do I just love fucking cars? It helps you think. So jealous is just a radar of you. Because I'll tell you this, if you have, let's say, a Ferrari in front of me, I'm kind of not impressed. I'm not a Ferrari guy. But where I'm a sucker for, if you got a smart home and you're just pressing buttons and using your voice to like close blinds and shit, I go, I wish I had that. And that tells me, what am I? I'm a fucking tech guy. I'm a nerd dad. I'm a nerd dad that wants to be one touch, everything's secure, window shades are on, clap, clap, there's my music. Like, that's dope to me. So I'm jealous when I see shit like that, but that's all your brain's telling you. So that's what I want to teach my teenager. Like, yo, pay very close attention and fuck school on that note. We're not bad parents. We're just realer parents, because unfortunately, our parents drilled that on our head because it was drilled to theirs that that's how it works. But today, it's not working like that. It's really not. I'd rather them go make some money instead of be in debt, like you said. It's so true, man. It's so true.
Well, you know, and you look at a lot of people that do have degrees. The master's degree is the new bachelor degree.
It is.
You know, I've seen people working at McDonald's with bachelor degrees.
It's true. Or
It's
they're
true.
doing something completely different. Like they went to school, let's say, for marketing, and now they're doing freaking customer service, or they're doing sales. Like they didn't want to do sales, but now they have to because that's the only job they got. So it's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. But dude, I stole this from Jerry Springer because we come from the era of him. But any final thoughts that you just want to kind of chime about before we hop off here? This conversation was really dope, by the way, man. It was really, really cool. It was really, really cool.
I wouldn't say final thoughts, but I think just to summarize, keep hustling.
Yep.
There's a hustle to be had. There's always things that you can do. Sitting around on your phone in your house crying about it is going to do nothing. You got to get out there.
It does jack shit. Amen to that, man. Like, you really got to – this is how faith works too, man. You don't just pray. You do actions. So if you just sit and pray all day, you ain't going to get provided with nothing. But if you pray and take care of your neighbor, if you pray and do brotherhood and you're actively building relationships, that's where the win is. And business is no different. You can't just bitch on your phone and go, I don't have money. Go do some fucking work. I love that, man. That's how we'll end it. Hashtag hustle hard. Hashtag hustle hard. But yeah, man, it was awesome having you here. I'm going to go ahead and chime out. I'll go ahead and start getting this all dialed in and good to go. And I'll let you know when it's all ready to rock, so you can start sharing it with your buds, and hopefully we inspire someone to hustle, like to at least take a peek and do something. That would be cool. We could do just, and that's my goal. If we could just get one person to hear this and go, you know what, I'll try. That's a win for me. I'm not a guy who needs millions of views. Like, no, one person at a time. That's how you win wars. One person at a time. That's how you.